so we can have it for a later time. And we're now recording. So what's going on, folks? Welcome to our Forex training. We're going to talk about the ECC-11 strategy that was created by Dr. Kathy Kirkland. For those that don't know her, Dr. K is an 8-figure trader. You know, she's the one who turned $40 US into 1.3 million from the strategy that we're going to teach you today. And we're fortunate that she partnered with Stephen Hooley, who created the Webb Analyzer, and they were to take her entire strategy and place it inside the Webb Analyzer, and it's powerful. And I find it to be very accurate. You know, when it tells you to buy or sell, we're just going to go through, you know, confirming the things that we see. So we trust with verification. I've always went by that rule, trust with verification. So let's just jump into some information of what you need to know beforehand, right? And I want you to know that you've joined iMarkets Live. You have everything that you need to become a successful trader. So make sure that you are going through your basics. Here's our system. When you get into the Legacy Worldwide chat group, there's a pin post. That pin post has everything that you need, from downloading that Dropbox there. That Dropbox is going to give you a video like we're doing right now that explains how to use the ECC-11 strategy, as well as the instructions on how to use the strategy. And it's also going to give you a fast start, right? How to set up your broker and things of that sort. So that is our system all wrapped into one. So just direct your brand new folks to that pin post and you should be set. All right, so let's just jump to the information. Also, there's a study guide there as well, too. So download the study guide. Make sure that you can answer all the questions on the study guide. That's it. You can answer all those questions. It's enough for you to actually get into the market and really start doing some damage and making some money. So intro to IML Academy, just make sure that you create a plan of action. How much do you want to make per week? How many pips do you want to catch, so that you have and you know what you're looking for in the market? You know, I believe that getting 10 pips and compounding it, let's say whether you get 10 to 20 pips per day, is absolutely powerful when you go through our 90 trade spreadsheet. So our goal is to get 900 pips, whether you start with $100 and you compound it to 6 figures, or you start with 200 and your goal is compounded to 7 figures. Whatever that is, make sure you just pay attention and stay the course based off that trading plan there, and don't over leverage your account. So we're going to talk about those things here. All right, so basics, remember, going through basics 1 through 24 in the academy. Then after that, don't stop there. Go through the rest of that. Then you have your technical analysis, where you learn how to draw lines and trend lines, uptrends, downtrends, right? Zones, things of that sort. And then you have your intermediates and intermediates 2. Advances, where you're going to start learning about corrections and flags and Fibonacci's and things of that sort. And then, of course, the mindset that you have to actually trade. You know, have you ever you know, been in a trade and you're like, you're so scared to lose your money, you get out of the trade and you take a loss for no reason. Then, you know, 20 minutes later or maybe an hour later, you see TP hitting and everybody's dropping 7s and 1s and they made profit, and you're mad at yourself. You're like, man, I should have stayed in trade. And you find yourself always getting out way too early. Why? Because there is a fear inside of you. There's something that's holding you back. There is a mindset block that you have to change. So definitely go through the mindset of a trader. And there's also another audio that you can get on YouTube called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Man, I can't tell you how valuable that audio was for me, because maybe you went through this part where maybe you've been in for a while and you've blown some accounts. Trust me, if you haven't blown an account, you may blow an account, or you might just be a good student. You might listen to me and you might not blow an account. But for a majority of folks who may not listen starting off, you're going to blow an account. And so I remember blowing an account about 2 times, and I was just so frustrated with myself. I was blaming everything around me except myself, you know, and that's what's very, very hard about trading, is that, you know, there's a lot of elements you can blame, right? You can blame the brokers. You can blame, you know, someone throwing a trade and that trade goes the opposite way. Remember, anyone throwing a suggestion of a trade, it's just their analysis of what they feel the market is going to do. It doesn't guarantee the market's going to go there. So know that. And so there's a lot of different trade ideas that get thrown. So it's not on the person trading. It's not on, you know, IML Academy or IML TV for some of the traders. It's that we got to understand, you know, we have to be disciplined about what we're doing in our trades. I think the only defense in Forex for you today is your leverage, right? It's real cool to go get, you know, drop a large lot size, make a huge profit. But what happens when it goes the other way? See, that's great to see, man, I just made $500 a day. I just made $1,000 a day. But the question is, how does your withdrawal look, right? Because sometimes we get into bad trades and then we don't know when to get out and we blow all that money. Well, that was me for a long time until I got disciplined. And I would say I'm probably a pretty disciplined person, especially going through the military. But there is something about, you know, our greed, right, that gets us. So I'm going to talk about that stuff here. And then, of course, go through harmonics, go through market geometry, and I'll tell you, it will set you up for success. So here's the reason why Forex traders fail. Okay, 12 of them. Fear. Okay, so I get this all the time, and I'm scared to go into the trade because I don't want to lose my money. You have this fear that of loss with losing money. Therefore, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose money. I have people who they go into a negative $2 and they're closing the trade out, and then the trade goes up and hits. Like, that's fear. Don't have fear in this market. Well, that fear will go away by you educating yourself on how to trade, what you're looking for, and how everything looks. The market is just patterns. And so the more that you get into this market, the more that you'll realize these patterns happen over and over and over again. Greed's going to get us all. Okay, listen to me. Greed is going to humble you every single time. I don't care how confident you are about a trade. Just have a discipline that, hey, this is my trading plan. This is what I'm sticking to. I'm only going to risk this much portion of my account, and that's what it is. You will be a successful trader if you remain with that discipline there. Greed will bite you every single time. I'm telling you from experience. And every other trader that's on here, they'll say, I agree with him, definitely, for sure, okay? So greed is definitely one of those that crush a lot of people in the market. So we got to own up to that when, you know, that time when you're going to blow an account. Look, hey, dang, I got greedy on that one. It got me. Okay, let's redo this again, and let me not get greedy, and let's really, you know, be disciplined and go through our trade plan, right? Hope, how does hope work in the market? You should have no hope in the market. Okay, so this is where I was reading Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. The hope in the market is it gets us where we're in a bad trade, and we don't want to admit that we're in a bad trade. We're like, oh, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, it's going to go up. And then we're asking all our people in our circle, you're in the Legacy Worldwide chat, you're like, hey, what do you guys think about gold? What do you guys think about GJ? What do you guys think about, you know, the euro? What do you think is going to happen? You know, we know what the deal is. You're trying to figure out, do I need to get out of this trade or should I close it out? And what I'm telling you, you'll have a decision point. Don't have hope in this market. You know, I hate, you know, and I'll tell you, I hate taking losses. I hate having to close trades, but I know that I have to. You know, last week, so when I had to close out EUR NZD, you know, I kept telling myself, there's no hope in the market. 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 Close. Oh. The hardest thing to do is to close out a losing trade, folks. I'm telling you from experience. But you know what? I was still in 50%. I still grew my account by 50% closing out that trade. So what I'm telling you is it's worth it. Just close it out. And then also have a rule for myself too, that let's say that you deposit $500 in your account. Okay. I'm just give you this mindset. You deposit $500 in your account. Let's say that you made a profit of $250. So now you have $750 in your account. Okay. So that means $250 was not yours originally. You grew your account there. You're in a good space. Let's say that you go into the negative. As long as you don't bite into your original money, you're good. So you should definitely have an exit plan. Like, you should never let this thing bite into what you deposit into your account. That's my rule there. I was like, I'll cut the loss because it wasn't my money anyway. So just have that, never let it bite into what you deposit into your trading account, because that's the goal. The brokers, they want that money, right? The market, they want that money. So they're not going to get my money. I'm going to always push to use only market money, and I'm going to be very cautious of how I utilize my money. So, of course, excitement in the market, you know, elation, lack of discipline will get a lot of folks. Not entering stop loss. There's a lot of different philosophies on stop losses. And so I'll just say this, you know, using proper risk management, you know, just risk what you're willing to risk. There is a philosophy. I'll talk about where to set a stop loss and how to actually have proper risk management. You know, me personally, there's times I set stop loss, there's times I don't. So when I'm scalping, I don't set a stop loss, but I do look at market structure. Okay, so I'm going to talk about market structure, okay? Then unrealistic targets and goals, high risk aversion, poor choice of brokers. So your brokers have high spreads and things of that sort. So you're not really profiting because you're getting the commissions knocked out of you from your broker. So just make sure that you understand this. And then one that we can really fix, at the end of the day, everything comes down to your lack of knowledge. right? You got to learn, just have a strategy, stick to it. You're going to take losses. That's a part of the game. Okay, so let's just jump into this information right now. I'm not going to go over how to calculate pips. That is in the academy. We have a system. If you go to legacyworldwide.net, step 3, my wife actually has a trading 101 where she actually calculates how to enter and exit trades and how to calculate your take profit and your pips. But what I will tell you, if you're brand new on here, you just have to learn how to add and subtract by 10. You see where that 7-8 is at? As long as you can add 10 or minus 10 from that number right there for your take profit, that's all you need to know, okay? It's you look at the last number, and the numbers in front of that is called your pips. Add or subtract based off of buying or sell. So if you buy, you're going to add 10. If you sell, you're going to subtract 10. That's it. So what I want you to do right now, go ahead and take a picture of this screen. Right, these are your notes, and so it's very simple to use, right? So anytime you click the sell button, here's how you get your TP, here's how you get your stop loss, okay? When you buy, here's how you get your TP, here's how you get your stop loss. That's it. Very simple to the point, okay? And so here's what I really want to harp on as far as the confirmation checklist, and then we're going to jump into the ECC-11 strategy. You know, I was a pilot for, I flew for about 9 years in the Air Force. You know, started off as a listed member. One thing that we were heavy on as being pilots, because it was very important. If you didn't go through your checklist, there's times you miss some, you can kill yourself or a lot of people. So a checklist was very important. It's a very hardcore discipline that's ingrained in me that I believe is paying off inside the trading space. So, you know, I want you to make sure that you have this confirmation checklist. If you're looking at this for the very first time, you're like, where'd you get that from? Go back through your basics, okay? It's around the last videos that they go over when do you enter a trade, okay? You know, so whether you're doing the harmonic scanner, whether you're using ECC-11 strategy, this applies to every strategy that you're doing. Okay, so the first thing that you're looking for is the trend. I look at all my charts and I just try to find, are we in an uptrend, downtrend? What trends are we on each chart? So primarily, especially with what we do with the ECC-11 strategy, we're going to focus on using the H4 chart, which means the 4-hour chart, the H1 chart, which means the 1-hour chart. That's each candle is 1 hour, each candle is 4 hours. And then the M15 chart is what we're going to use for entry. Each candle is 15 minutes, okay? So we look at those 3 and we determine, is it an uptrend on the H4? Is it an uptrend on the H1? Is it an uptrend on the M15? And if that's the case, right, it's an overall buy, you know, versus using the ECC-11 strategy and vice versa for a downtrend. The next thing we're looking for, number 2, where are my support and resistance areas? MRA, major areas or major reversal areas. When will price possibly turn around, okay? And then long wicks represent, you know, who basically won the fight. So when you see a long wick on the down part of a candle, so you have your body, and then you have the bottom part of that candle is a long wick, that tells you that the buyers, the sellers were pushing it down, then the buyers pushed that thing all the way up and they overcame the sellers. So it's possible that the next candle that may light up can be a bullish candle, which let us know that we may possibly be going into a bullish state or a buy, okay? And vice versa. If there's a long wick on the downside, okay, so on the upside of the candle, so you have the big body at the bottom and the long wick at the top, that tells me that the sellers overcame the buyers and pushed it down. So guess what? Momentum is coming on the seller side possibly. It is an indication. Okay, just know that every step you go through here are indications to create a stronger sense of what the total indication to buy or sell is. Okay, and then number 4, you look at a flag, or what we call consolidation. This is when the market is moving sideways. It's not in any direction. It's not in an uptrend, not in a downtrend. It's just consolidating. It creates a flag, and inside that flag is some type of pattern. Don't worry about that right now because we're going to just talk about scalping with the ECC-11, but just know this is a part of the checklist. We're going to determine based off that consolidation zone whether the price is going to continue or reverse, okay? And I'll talk about that a little bit more inside the strategy. And then number 5, right? We're just looking now that we know what our trend is, uptrend, downtrend. We're looking to see if price respected our trend line, right? Did it respect it or reject it? Or you see, so rejected meaning did it break through, break out? Or did it respect it and go back up or down? That's what we're looking at for the trend line of when we're going into a trade. The next thing, how many times did it tap and respect the trend line or respect our area. What we're looking for a positive support or resistance area, we're looking for at least 2 to 3 retests. What that means is let's say the 15-minute candle hit a resistance zone, pop, the next candle lights up because it doesn't go through. The next candle lights up, it hits it, test, it doesn't go through. The next candle lights up, test, it doesn't go through. Well, that's called a resistance area, and it just solidified itself that it's pretty strong, and most likely price is now going to reverse. Right, so now you're looking for price to start moving in the direction that you're trading in. Very simple. If you can go through this checklist every single time, you will go into successful trades. I will just tell you, just being now I feel I'm more experienced. Every time that I miss a step on this checklist, I find myself in a situation either in a pullback, okay, or being in a trade that for too long that I don't want to be in. And the biggest thing is pullbacks. So our goal is to get in on the pullback. And I'll say this, if you can remember, no pullback, no entry. So that's just a discipline thing, depending on what you want to do. No pullback, no entry, meaning you get to catch the move at its beginning. And I'm going to show you that pattern when it happens. Okay, so let's just talk about this real quick. What is an uptrend? Uptrend is based off, higher highs, higher lows. So you start with your low here, you have your high here, and then you have a higher low. If you're kind of confused already based off what I'm talking about, I do want you to go through the basics so that you can really learn this. So I have these labeled for a reason. So, price starts here. It's bullish. We're buying, and then we correct. This is what we call consolidation. This is what we call a flag. This is called a corrective flag, okay? And then we get a breakout. So remember ICC. Impulse, correction, continuation. That's all. Same thing applies for a downtrend. That's all we're doing in the market now. Obviously, you can't just be looking at the charts all day looking at this. So we're going to show you a simple way with the cloud, with the ECC-11 strategy to get the indication and go in, get your buy, get your sell real quick and be out. That's it. But I want you to understand the basics of what an uptrend is. It's based off higher highs, higher lows. That means price, no matter if it's pulled back or not, it's continually going up, okay? So like I said, the high, and then we had a low here, but it's higher than this low here. So guess what? If you were to sell, let's say you tried to sell here, okay? And then you miss getting your take profit, and you know that you're in an uptrend. Well, guess what's going to happen? You have to make a decision to either get out of the trade, okay? This is what I'm trying to teach you is decision points. If you sell right here, let's say you're trying to get a sell off an impulse. So the impulse happens, you try to get this correction here, you miss your take profit point, and then the price moves up. And now you're in the negative. If you know that you're in an uptrend, you better understand that price may not come back for a long time. So you have to make a decision to take the loss, or you're going to become a swing trader. Hopefully you leverage properly that you can sustain a couple hundred pips to where it comes finally up here and then drops back down, okay? But for the most part, just take the loss and make it up on the upside. So if you just take the loss here and then you know that you're in an uptrend, you can buy and just hold your trade all the way up for those who want to become swing traders, right? Or position traders. You grab a position and you just let your trade ride all the way up, and then you finally take the profit you want to take, okay? Downtrend, same thing. Lower highs, lower lows. If you don't have lower highs or lower lows, you're not in a downtrend. And so if you can just understand this, you are going to become a very effective trader, and you're going to have very good decision points, no matter if you're scalping in the market, no matter if you're swing trading the market, no matter if you're position trading in the market. You see, the times that you're in, let's say, a downtrend. Downtrends are meant for long-term sales because price is descending, short-term buys because buys are corrections up to the trend line. But however, if you miss your take profit for a buy in a downtrend, once again, that thing is going to continue down and it's not coming back to where you bought at. Same thing applies for an uptrend. Uptrend is for, let me go back to that. Uptrends are for long-term buys, short-term sales, okay? That's it. That's trading. And as long as you know that, you'll be fine. So I'm not going to go through this checklist here. We just talked about this, so I'm going to speed through this part. And let's just talk about what the ECC-11 strategy is and how it works with the Webb Analyzer. Now, the Webb Analyzer is an add-on product to your membership. It's only $21. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Over the past 2 weeks, we've thrown 40 trades, 38 in profit. 2 we had to close out. Really, they were all in profit, but I think I had people re-enter back in, so that's what kind of took some things out. And I just learned my lesson. It was a checklist thing for myself as well, too. I think, for example, this week already, I think I've already thrown 3 trades, all of them closed in profit, 10 pips done. Last night we threw some trades, closed in profit by this morning. So I'm gonna talk about what I am doing to get those trades right from here, okay? And I'm gonna just dissect what the cloud is. So first of all, ECC-11 is a scripture created by, put out there by Dr. K. She always, put her trades on top of that scripture. ECC-11, Ecclesiastes 11, 1-3 means it's good to go into foreign trade. You never know the bad things this world may bring. So, whether you get laid off at your job or something bad happens, you lose some income, you lose your retirement. Guess what? You learn this skill that will never go away. You have multiple streams of income. That's what it tells you. And so let's just break this down now. The Chikou Span A and B just means the cloud. Okay, so this is the cloud, what we call a KUMU, right? And it just basically is meant for quick glance to see what trend we're in. So the whole thing is called an Ichimoku Kinko Hayo. That's the whole indicator. All right, and what that indicator is meant for a quick glance. I can analyze the chart without having to draw a trend line, without having to draw support and resistance areas. I know exactly where it's at, and I can just buy or sell based off looking at the chart, okay? So when we're looking at this cloud here, this cloud tells us when it's in the uptrend, when price is above, and it's in the downtrend when price is below. Simple. Well, remember, the first step that we're looking for, trend. We knock out our first step that we're looking for. Okay, it's in a downtrend. Okay, boom, first step done. What's our next one? 2, support and resistance line, MRAs, major reversal areas. Well, the cloud also acts as a major reversal area. Okay, so if price starts shifting up, price typically respects this cloud. If it breaks through, then it rejected, or it broke through the cloud, which it broke through a major reversal area, meaning price may continue once it breaks through this cloud, okay? So know that this is also considered a major reversal area, as well as indication for a trend, okay? So that knocks out, a portion of our major reversal areas. Then we bring into our vision, we have the Tenkan-sen, which is the red line, also called the conversion line. And then we have the Kijun-sen, also called the baseline. It's typically blue. That's what we make sure you change the color of the blue if it's not that color. And then the Tenkan-sen, which is your conversion line, we have it red. Now, here's very simple. Anytime this red line crosses under the blue line, it's an indication of a sell. Okay, a little bit, some more stuff goes involved with that, but the simple things is that red line crosses under the blue, it's a sell, right? When the red line crosses above the blue, it's a buy. Look how price stayed above the red, right? You can roll that all the way up, and all we're doing is we're scalping 10 pips right off that. It's just that simple. And some of us, we're getting 5 pips, get in and out, and we just keep on doing that. Remember, when you're looking at your Excel sheet for 900 pips, our goal is just to get 900 pips. I didn't say that you have to get 10 pips to get 900 pips. It can be 5 pips. It can be 3 pips. Hey, you can 3 pip your way to 900 pips. Just remember, profit is profit. Your goal is to close out 900 pips. We don't have to wait for 10 pips. Just get your pips, get in, get out, and then we keep on going. And so we're just going to give you several strategies that you can work with this. So the conversion line and the baseline are also used as moving, support, and resistance lines. What do I mean by that? If you're like, what is resistance, Randy? What is support? I want you to go through your basics so that you can understand it a little bit more in detail, but let me just give you a quick summary, okay? When we say support is like walking on a floor. The floor is supporting you. So that means that price is on top, so it bounces on the floor, okay? Anytime that we're talking about resistance, we are talking about a ceiling, okay? That's when price is below, right, our ceiling, okay? So that means price is going to be hitting on top of the resistance point, okay? So that's what I mean when I say resistance. So anytime that we're going into a sell, we are looking for our Tenkan-sen, right, our conversion line to be our resistance point. And as long as that our price is below our Tenkan-sen, we are good for a sell. Simple, right? Okay, same thing applies for a buy. When we're going in for a buy, we're now looking for our conversion line, our Tenkan-sen now to be our floor, right? To be our support, and it's going to carry our price. And at the point that it breaks through our support, we should no longer be in that trade. Simply put, right? So that's a portion of the indicator. And then another portion of the indicator, we call this the Chikou Span / lagging span, or you may hear Dr. K refer to it as your money line. I'm going to blow your mind for those who have been doing this for a while, but you're like, how does that make sense? I don't understand the money line. I don't understand the lagging span. Okay, all this is that you'll hear the definition saying that it's 26 periods back, you know, sees what's in the past, blah, 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 blah. Simply put, folks, it is a replica, okay? It is a mirror of your candles, okay? That's all this is. If you were to go click on line chart, your line chart would look exactly like this. So it's a way for you to quickly glance and see your previous high or low clearly, okay? So when I'm looking at this money line, I want to see where my next support point is because it's facing down. I look left. Here goes one support point, and you see price. See how price went back up because what? Okay, that's a critical point. Well, when price passes that, here's my next point. And then when price passes that, then I look even farther left. Okay, so, and let's say this was facing up. If this starts shifting up, I look left and I look for the next point. There goes one point, right? There goes one point. And you see, these are support and resistance lines that I don't have to draw, but I know that that's a point. That's a point, that's a point, that's a point. So this could be take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, take profit 4. And I'll talk about later how to see all that and when it makes sense for you because the cloud comes into effect with all of this together, okay? So there it is. There goes your line chart. There goes your money line. They're the same. But it allows you to be able to look at it really clearly without having to change your candles. That's all the Chikou Span is, okay? Now, there's some other tricks that you can use with it, but I'm just going to keep this training very simple. All right, so now we're going to go live on the ECC-11 strategy. I'm going to just see. And that you hear it already going off. So it looks like the market may be already moving here. All right, here we go. I know there's some questions out here. Let me see. I see some comments here. Let me see what we got here. So we're about to see the TP real live right now. We're going. So now let's look at the strategy, folks. So I just went over the dynamics. So look, we have EUR AUD. Let's see if it called that, even though I'm looking at this as a nice. Let me see this real quick. Okay. So first things first. So now you got the ECC-11 strategy. Let's just talk about how to set it up. So first of all, when you go to your back office, let's go here. When you go to your back office, if you don't have the web analyzer already, you're going to go to shopping cart. And then you're going to add the web analyzer. Now I already have the web analyzer added. So this is all the additional stuff. Now, Dr. K is going to be adding onto the London payout where she's going to be doing indices here, which is going to be powerful. But right now, we're just, all you got to do is upgrade to the web analyzer, which is $21.95. And then I'm going to show you how to do this right here. Okay, so now we get this. So here's the first thing. You're going to go click on, it's going to say select template. You're going to click on strategy, find your template, click Dr. Kirkland's ECC-11 strategy, save to mobile, okay? Turn your cha-chings on, and then you're gonna click Save Settings. That's it. And then this comes up, okay? The next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go here. And I have these, I've been playing around with settings. The settings that are currently suggested are 6, 13, 26, and 13. Currently, I've just been kind of looking at how price is responding based off the 13 or based off the 26. So, but this is the official 6, 13, 26, and 13. So select that, and then you're gonna make sure that when you're changing this, you're gonna go to save as default. Also, your style when you first start, your conversion line should be red, okay? And your baseline should be blue. Once again, save as default. Click OK, okay? That's it. And then you're set there. All right, next thing. Off to the left here. This is where you're going to find your trade ideas. So you see the last trade idea I threw here. You know, this is for everybody. So if you don't see anything going to group, most time I throw it in the group for everybody. If you're in the Legacy Worldwide group, then fine. If you have the Web Analyzer and you're looking at it yourself one day, I might be trading and might not even throw something in the group, but I throw it here. See, I'm thinking about buying EUR AUD. This hit take profit today. Both of these trades hit take profit that I threw. Okay, and I also threw them in the trading group. Okay, so this is where you'll see all the trade ideas that people are looking at. So if you want, you can look at what people are throwing out there, and then you can look at the cloud and see how it works in and take some of those suggestions. Okay, down here, this is going to be the type of currencies and trades you can do. So we have Forex. You can trade cryptocurrency. You can trade the indices, right? So the US 30, right? We can trade that here. And it works perfectly. Now, remember, use proper risk management with the US 30. If you've never traded US 30, be cautious. I would say for every $1,000 you have, you want to use 0.01. All right. So just be cautious of your leverage when trading indexes. Okay. And then we have gold and silver that you can trade as well too. So we're going to focus on regular currencies right now. So we're going to look at US. We're going to look at USD, JPY. So here's my checklist. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the price it's suggesting, okay? I'm going to go here. I'm going to find my horizontal line, okay? Then I'm going to put my horizontal line there. Then you see this right here. I'm going to put my coordinates here, the price. So it says 108.016. All I'm going to do is place it there. Now, what's powerful about this, every time that I see it, always places this on a nice support line or resistance line. So I'm going to tell you right offhand, if we're looking to sell and price is above what it's suggesting for entry, be cautious. We want to wait till price actually closes below our entry point because that's for a reason. What this gave you was a critical support and resistance line. Okay, so yes, the red line did cross into the blue, but our price is above it right now. Remember what we said that the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen are. If price is above, it turns into a support line. When price is below, it's a resistance line. So we need our price to come back down. But here's what's more powerful. Price is currently trapped. Why? Because it's in between our red and blue line and our major reversal area, which is our cloud. So we need price is currently respecting it, isn't it? So what we need is as we go through our checklist, remember number one, the trend. What are we looking at? Quick look. Trend is a downtrend on the 15-minute. We go to the 1 hour. Trend is a downtrend on the 1 hour. Oh man, we looking good. And if I show this on the 4 hour, I'm confident. Oh man. Okay, so we're going to go into a sell for this one, but we're going to wait for it to really pass our zone here. So because I don't want to get caught in a pullback. So I want to make sure I catch a good position. So we're going to be patient, okay, because this may pull up to respect this line and then drop back down, which for those that understand the impulse, correction, continuation, or a teacup, okay? That's all you're seeing here. So we already got our crossovers here, but I think this might curve up. So we're going to wait a little bit, okay? But I looked at all the charts. There goes my 1 hour. And then I go for entry on my 15-minute, and I can even enter based off my 5-minute, okay? All right, so boom, we got our line set there. It's respecting our zone. What I'm waiting for, so 1, we look for the trend. 2, we're looking for major reversal and support and resistance areas. That's already there. 3, we're looking at long wicks. Where are our wicks at? Well, there's no wicks here, so momentum really went on the buyer side here, so I'm really going to be cautious right now, okay? And then we got a wick there, so we're going to wait. You know, we want to make it to this trade actually materializes and come and does the right thing. So when price drops down, okay? And then what was number 4 was looking at the flags. So consolidation zone, what is it forming? So here you look for W's and M's. If you see a W, folks, understand that is a reversal to the upside. If you see an M on the upside, that's a reversal to the downside. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And then number 5, price moving in your direction, and we're looking for 2 to 3 retests. So what's going to solidify this is once we get a retest of this area, then it finally drops. Then we'll go in for this sell, and then we'll take it down here for a good 10 pips. That's all we're looking for, folks. That's it, okay? So this one's not necessarily ready just yet. One other thing I look at is I look at the currency strength. You can download an app called Currency Heat Wave, okay? It's an app you can download to your phone, or You can or you can go to currency strength meter that I'm gonna show you right now. Livecharts.co.uk. Right, so if we're looking for a sell, we need the JPY to be weaker than USD. Currently, that kind of checks. So USD has more strength than JPY, so we are looking for that to go to the downside. That's good. Okay, it's not by that much, so be cautious because this could change. Okay, so just always refresh this because it can change. But this is telling you that, actually, I'm sorry, we're looking for USD to be weak and JPY to be stronger. So this is not in where I want it to be at yet. I want this to be down and I want this to be up, and that's going to drive USD into a sell. Okay. So just a little bit extra there. And also check the news. Make sure that there's no news for your currency that you're utilizing. So let's go look at that real quick. So forexfactory.com. So you make sure you don't get into a bad situation where you get into a trade and that thing just explodes to the wrong side of the trade. Okay, so what do we have coming up? We have JPY, it's a yellow polar, so not anything big. So look, we have the Australian dollar at 8.30. So we want to be cautious that if we go into an AUD trade, that we either, set a stop loss, okay, if we do take that trade, or we're closed out before this news happens, unless you're intentionally plan on trading the news, okay? All right, let's go back. So look, price is respecting, it's coming down. We might just enter that trade. Let's look and see what it's doing on the 5-minute. 5 minutes coming down, you see the red line crossed up over the blue here. That's an indication of a buy, but it's below the cloud here. So we want this, as soon as I see this red cross under here on the 5-minute and price comes down, we'll be able to enter that trade. But for right now, let's go to the next one. Let's see what we got here. Okay, what's the first thing I need to do? Is suggested price. Okay, I go here, right? I click on my horizontal line. I just place it somewhere. I find this right here. I type in the price. So it's 1.81. $544. Click OK. Actually, that's the wrong line there. Let me delete that off. Horizontal line. There, double click, boom, price. 544, boom. So we're looking for a buy here. Here's the greatest part. This is acting as support right now. I like that. So actually, this is actually good. I'm sorry. Red line crossed over the blue. So we're actually looking for this entry. This is good. All right. And then we're looking to get at least 10 pips. Now, if price goes below that, then we're going to wait. But good. This is 1 retest, 2 retests, 3 retests, 4 retests, 5 retests, and then we have it testing right now. This is good. So we're getting our retest in there. We look at the 15, and that is the 15-minute chart. So we're good here. Now we're just waiting for price to go in the direction that we want to trade in. So we need a bullish candle to light up before we make entry. Okay, but now I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to look at the 1-hour chart, and I'm going to look at the 4-hour chart because I want to know, are we in an overall buy or is it in between? Is it transitioning? Okay, so let's go look at the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart is below the cloud, so it's possible that this may not go up. And if it does start going up, remember we said if it's in the downtrend, then what are we looking for as far as buy or sells? Downtrends, which that's what this is. I don't even got to draw the line here, but I'm gonna just show you how to draw a line. If you want to draw the trend line, you can. But this is a downtrend. Okay, boom. There's our trend line. Price is moving down. Okay. But guess what? Our cloud was already there to show us that. So we didn't even need to do that. So what this really is what? It's a correction. So we're going into long-term sells, what? Short-term buys. This is called a correction or a pullback. You see that? Correction. Correction. Man, I'm getting y'all on game right now. Correction. Okay? See, this I'm putting y'all on game right now. Correction. If you learn how you can see the corrections like this, correction. Do you see that? Correction. So impulse, correction, continuation. Correction, continuation. Correction, continuation. This is a true impulse right here. We have another correction happening, and then what we look for a possible continuation. So we have to be cautious if we go into this buy that is short term. Okay? So right now, I'm not going to go into this buy because I feel it's short term. The red line actually crossed under the blue line on the 1-hour chart. And then we go look at the 4-hour chart. Let's see where it's at. 4-hour chart is below as well too. I'm not going to do this trade as a buy. It's short term. Could you get 10 pips in? Possibly, yes. But you will be taking a risk doing that. So we're not going to do that one. Okay. What else we got? Okay, we got NZD, JPY. Me and NZD and NZD, JPY, we got a love-hate relationship, but let me see if we can work something out. So first things first, trend. We're identifying that it's an uptrend on the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the 1 hour. It's going into an uptrend on the 1 hour. This is cool, a little pullback there, no big deal. 4 hour, let's look at that. Okay, 4 hour, guess where it's at? It's right at the cloud. Anytime we see dips in the cloud like this is a pullback. So we got a crossover. So what can happen? We got to be a little bit patient. Could this go up and hit our 10 pips? Yes. But is it likely that we can get a pullback? We can get a 20 pip pullback? Yes. So we can get it. It can respect this zone. We get a 20 pip pullback and then it shifts up. So all this is a little bit patient. What's happening right now, by the way, the market is moving really slow. Typically, the candles will be moving much faster, so there's not much volume in the market right now. So that's why I'm very, I'm cautious of calling the trade right now because I don't want to put you in a bad trade when we could just wait for the right thing, the right situation. Okay. Looking here, the most right now it would hit is about 6 pips. So this is not worth it. Plus, we haven't got our crossover yet, and it's in the cloud. Okay, let's see what else we have. That was an hour 45 minutes ago. So let's go back to our USD JPY. That one actually looked pretty good, right? Here we go. Price now moving our direction. Okay, that's good. That's good. So now we're just waiting for confirmation here. So this is probably the trade that we can take. We're waiting though, not yet. So this right now, this blue line is acting as a support point. And remember, if I set up my price again, go run my horizontal line, click on my gear, put in what, 108.016. The London session is a perfect time to trade this because the market is really moving. And also, we might even be, I'm not saying we're moving the Breakfast Club yet. What I realized that when the New York session opens at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, 8 a.m., the market is moving quickly. So we might end up even shifting our Breakfast Club to earlier so that we can catch the pips much faster, okay? So all we're doing is waiting a little bit, waiting for price to drop. Once price drops below here, we go in for the sell. And then we have the option. See, remember I said this line right here? We look at our previous low. When this shifts down, previous low was at 107. So yeah, we have enough to get 10 pips in, okay? But right now it's shifting up, so we're not going to make that move. We're waiting for this to transition down. So I'll let you know when we're ready to hop into this trade. But for the most part, go ahead and write USD JPY down. You might, if I don't call it while we're on this call, you'll probably see it definitely inside the trading group. I'm going to call it if it starts dropping. Okay. All right. All right, so we just wait here, like I said, and then also remember I throw trade ideas here as well. Let's see. So last trade was me who throw that. A lot of people, like I traded during parts where most people don't trade, but this is what scalping allows you to do when most people are not trading around 1 to 2, because typically I don't trade them, but I've seen some opportunities that I knew we're going to close out, through those trades out. So for the most part, that is the strategy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this recording. So if you're catching this recording, congratulations. Welcome to the team. Practice this strategy. Learn what I just put here. Just go on your own. Look through these charts. Practice trading in the Forex market. Use your demo account. Take some of these trades. And the greatest part about using the demo account, you can blindly just trade if you want to. If you just say, I just want to sell it and don't do anything, just sell it and see what happens. okay? And then just get used to what the market does and how it moves, and then start applying your checklist, and then try to really be a strategic trader and go into trades and see how you can go directly into profit and things of that sort. Look at how it respects the zones and everything. Okay, so we're going to stop this recording. For those who see this recording later, welcome to the team. Welcome to the ECC-11 strategy. We do the Breakfast Club every single day. We're going on a 90 trade run. Okay, so that means 90 trades start go 900 pips. Every morning we wake up, there's going to be an 8 o'clock call for mindset. You can do that with Ed Blunt through telephone, where he has a good mindset call, or you could actually hop on a link on Facebook and actually, plug into our Breakfast Club call with my wife and, Dr. China, Dr. Jewel, and some other leaders that hop on and just kind of talk about what's happening in the market and things of that sort. So it's up to you. And I think that's all the information that I have for you as far as this recording. So we're going to stop the recording here. And then now I'm just going to allow for questions, and then we'll go over anything that you didn't understand.